Hi everyone, welcome to this video about messaging during crisis. I've received so much feedback from the webinar we did yesterday with MENA speakers about the same topic, and some of you asked me to put the top highlights of the webinar into a shorter length video. So here we go. This video is going to be about messaging during crisis, how to craft a well thought of message, how to deliver it, how not to deliver it, and what we can do to improve communication with consumers or with people during a crisis. My name is Jessie Mour. I'm a certified media trainer and a longtime journalist, now giving workshops. Obviously, all of us got affected with this crisis, so I've chosen to continue to give out training, but maybe via online and video. So I'm providing content about top crisis communication guidelines that we can all use. In order for me to convey some of the golden rules of messaging during crises, I chose some top examples from world leaders that will really help me convey the message I want to give out today. Before we continue, I chose this statement by the British Prime Minister, which he gave in a televised address to the British people. Let's take a listen. I want you to focus on one thing. When you listen to his statement, don't focus so much on the words he chose. I want you to focus on the impact of his message. Try to think, what is the impact his message will make on viewers or listeners. Let's take a listen. Okay.
What can be done to contain this disease? And this has brought us valuable time, but it's now a global pandemic, and the number of cases will rise sharply. Indeed, the true number of cases is higher, perhaps much higher than the number of cases we have so far confirmed with tests. And I've got to be clear, we've all got to be clear, this is the worst public health crisis for a generation. Some people compare it to seasonal flu. Alas, that is not right. Owing to the lack of immunity, this disease is more dangerous and it's going to spread further. And I must level with you, level with the British public. More families, many more families are going to lose loved ones before their time. And the Chief Scientific Advisor will set out the best information we have on that in a moment.
Okay, let's pause for a second. And I want to ask you, what do you think the British media chose as a headline for this speech? Okay, think for a second. You probably read it, but he gave out a pretty medium length speech. He spoke about guidelines. He spoke about how they can take care of the elderly. But let me show you what the media chose as headline, and then we'll discuss why that happened. Okay, here we go. Let's see if you guessed, okay? The British media chose, and I just went through top 3 of the media outlets, and here we go. Boris Johnson lays bare coronavirus threat. Many more families are going to lose loved ones. Boris Johnson, many more families are going to lose loved ones before their time. Yes, people will die, says Boris. Just keep calm and carry on. Now, what do you think happened? The statement of the Prime Minister is factually correct. He didn't say anything that wasn't true to some extent. He didn't give out misinformation. It is true that some people might lose their lives. Why is what he said wrong from a crisis communication perspective? It's wrong because the impact it gave was that people got scared, they panicked, they felt like, what, my loved ones are going to die, what do I do? You know, and so many people just tuned out, as in they stopped listening. This statement, when you were a leader and you're telling people that their loved ones are going to die, how many do you think will continue to hear his speech? And if they continue to hear, how many you think are actually processing what he says? So the mistake here that was done, it's a crucial crisis communication mistake, was giving such a dramatic, morbid, somber statement that says, listen, we've done all we can, but your loved ones are going to die. And oh, by the way, my scientific advisor is just going to give you some guidelines. Well, a lot of people are not going to take these guidelines at face value, because as a leader, they look up to, as citizens, they look up to their leaders to calm them down, to give them to make them feel comfort, to not panic, and to give them the impression that you're in control.